I think we went 3-2. And I wanted to play it the next day, and I just like ended up playing something else. And so I made a couple small changes, but I was mostly liking it. I think the mana is pretty nice too, or like it's took a while to figure out. And I'm pretty happy with where it's at the moment. Questing Druid is a really good card, and having a powerful card advantage engine in your Humans deck of Modern is really valuable at the moment. Anointed Peacekeeper has also been really overperforming for me and has been really good at multiples, so I'm just jamming 4 at the moment. Also helps the Yawgmoth matchup a lot to play Anointed Peacekeeper, which is like historically kind of a harder card to play. But yeah, Questing Druid is more or less like it's a champion of the Parish with a I always forget the name of these cards, like the other like Seek the Beast variants, but Seek the Beast attached to it. How they have infinite deaths. So yeah, they use Walking Ballista to ping their own Young Wolf, which makes it undie, training with Blood Artist, comes back, it has a counter on it that removes the counter, targets itself. Yeah. I didn't like Peacekeeper at first. I've really come around on the card. That is true. I've really come around on the card. It was just one of these, like, when I had seen it in play against... Should be able to get basic planes. Just like Red Source plus Cavern fixes all your mana. 6 basic land art and 6 promo comments for after 2002. I feel like they've been better lately, the promo packs. Yeah, they at least look cool. I had Curiosity in a brew recently. Hatchy Plans is cool. Spreading, this is like the spreading season is sick. I don't know. It's nice. They're free. Yeah, I think it's like the last like 2 months specifically they've been better. Depends on a mold of 5. There was no water in there. I thought there still was. You've been a Ranger Captain so long. Yeah, I know. I used to like Ranger Captain a lot. Like, you still could play Ranger Captain in this spot instead. I've been liking Peacekeeper a lot. I want to play with it some more. Could just be correct to play Ranger Captain instead. Human suckers are supposed to be dead. Yeah, I think Questing Druid is a really nice upgrade for the deck. And Humans is also like it is like despite like all the complaints about Modern mostly being like translated to Humans isn't good anymore. There's a lot to like about the deck, like Unsettled Mariner, Sanctifier en-Vec in the sideboard. Lavinia's great. Like Peacekeeper I think has been really good. Questing Druid's really good. There's just a lot to like about the deck. Saga Drum, huh? Anointed could be better in the sideboard. I had two main, 2 side, and started to like them a lot. Just put them all on the main board. It's just like so tough to beat Yawgmoth without access to this card. Okay, so it is Scales. The Peacekeeper is very good in this matchup too. Boromir, not super relevant in this matchup, but it is at least large and in charge, huh? What, Hushbringer? I don't really like Hushbringer very much. I think it's one of these, like, cards that everyone acts like is, like, really good, but I've kind of, like, never been impressed by it, I guess. Enchant's 2 Canopy is low number. There's a chance to low number. But we're a fetch shock mana base. You just really can't afford to play many copies of these cards. Like our life total is much like low. We're dealing ourselves a lot more damage than like traditional Humans is, and you have to play Questing Druid. There's like I actually don't think there's really much chance that you can afford to play more than like 2. Yeah, Cathar Priest is okay. Biggest danger from Scales is what? A fat and fast Ballista. I mean, they have a ton of angles of attack: Inkmoth, Ballista, Ozlith, Giant Patchwork, or Shadow Spear. We have Cursed Totems in the sideboard for this matchup too. I'm also playing a couple Solitudes today. I wasn't playing them last time. Yeah, Moxfield is kind of acted up. Let me see if I can get the deck lists. Could you play Inspiring Vantage and Sunbaked Canyon over Fetch Shock? I mean, we also have blue cards. But like we also have green cards off the Questing Druid. You have to play Fetch Shock. Like Horizon lands are good. They're not so good. They're not so good that you just like want to have like shitty mana. They can't seriously be thinking about attacking, can they? I guess they can. Actually, with the Zabaz is 7/7. So it's like not a very reasonable attack. Come on, Seek the Beast. Is Recruiter no good anymore? Recruiter has never been good in humans. It's always been suboptimal in my opinion. Sorry, I do like that we get to draw a card here. Messing up with the deck command. Those secluded card territory, those don't cast Seek the Beast. So they've got no cards left in their hand. Probably will wait on the Mariner so it can also trigger the Champion of the Parish. Can see a lot of downside in doing that. Doesn't seem like either of us are really going to be able to attack super soon. Unless... Okay, they're putting... Wait, they're putting the counter on the Ozlith itself. This is a... misclick. Yeah. So notably, if I could draw a Lord, I do have an attack with the Boromir. I could also sack this to venture into the dungeon and start attacking for a little bit. It's kind of interesting. Are we at that point? Feels like we're close to that point. I know Reflector Mage would be good on this board. I think in general it's not a card you want to play in Modern. Yeah, it's because we just need to get to a spot where they're like getting in with Patchwork and like we can attack with everything, I think. Don't like this very much, but I think it's correct. You already told me that Thalia is not good. I cannot comprehend that concept. Is it because of the current meta? I mean, yeah, like, but yeah, I think it's good against no deck, so I think it's not good. Yeah, it's not just Bowmasters. Like, it's good against Living End. It's good against like exactly Living End. It's bad against Tron. It's bad against Scales. It's bad against Yawgmoth. It's bad against Titan. It's bad against Scam. It's bad against Bean. It is good in no matchups. So let's just not register it, right? Seek the Beast is what I'm hoping to find, I guess. Dude, fun, it's so bad. Things get a lot better post-board, though. We get some Solitudes and some Cursed Totems. And I want some number of War Priest of Thunes. Killing Scales and Saga's pretty good. Maybe just play all three. The Linvalas are not good. The Boromirs are not good. Peacekeeper is very good. Sentinel is better than it looks. Probably not going to cut any Sentinels. We can cut all the three Coppercoats pretty easy. Companion, 4 months, welcome back. Mariner's really good against Ballista. It's not much good against anything else, but shutting off Ballista is really important, so I think we keep them in. It's good against Murktide. It's okay against Murktide, but it's still like, you spend 2 mana, they spend 2 mana to remove it. It's like a little speed bump. It is okay against Murktide. It is like a reasonable card, for sure. Isn't Coppercoat better than Mariner? I just said this, but Mariner is really good against Ballista. Coppercoat is, I think, pretty bad in this matchup. Mariner is a lot better against Ballista because it itself has Ward. Also, Thalia is like not good with Questing Druid. It's another reason to not play it, of course. But yeah, I do think you want to lead on Sentinel against Scales. They have a lot of non-creature turn 1 plays. Yeah, Mariner also gives yourself ward, which is a big deal. You gotta wait a turn. Nope. Thank you, Magic card. We have War Priest for that. Feels good. Could be okay to play double champ this turn. I think I should probably just War Priest them. I love that War Priest is like, I think this card's really good at Modern right now. So many enchantments. Okay, Ravager. I can get really aggressive in Solitude the Ravager. Obviously awkward, we don't have any red mana for Seek the Beast this game. I think I'm just saving the champ to pitch to Solitude, get him with both of these. May play the champ next turn, but turning off a Ballista seems really nice here. It's crazy how much this deck has to change to be playable in Modern again. Isn't that always the case? It's just shit has to always evolve. Ooh, Peacekeeper's really nice. Yeah, let's just go ahead and slam Peacekeeper. Okay, so the hand is Nature's Claim, dead. Besage You, dead. Ink Moth, pretty dead. Triple Ink Moth. Ballista, Ballista's not very good because of Mariner. So I think I just named Arcbound Ravager. I think there's probably a few people not super familiar with Anointed Peacekeeper. So let me read y'all the card. I guess do I ever attack if I attack with Mariner? Am I okay trading? I really just can't like not have the Mariner because of the Ballista. Could attack with the Sentinel. Yeah, attack with Sentinel. Okay, so Anointed Peacekeeper. 3 mana, 3/3 Vigilance. ETB. Look at your opponent's hand, then choose any card name. Spells your opponent's cast with chosen name cost 2 more to cast. Abilities of chosen source cost 2 mana to cast or activate unless they are mana abilities. So here, I think there's a good chance I'm just supposed to Solitude the Hangerback. Their hand is pretty weak at this moment. Let them get as little life as possible. They can Nature's... I did miss this. Not a huge deal, but they can Nature's Claim at game 3 and get a token. I always do kind of forget about the Nature's Claim your own stuff line. Okay, Ballista again can't ping anything right now because of the Mariner. Each time they do, it costs 2 mana. Very annoying to draw Fountain here, is what it is. Still in very good shape. I don't think I'm casting this Questing Druid. We have let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we have 12 sources for Seek the Beast. I think it's an okay number. Still very ahead. Their hand is Besage You, mystery card at the moment. They decided to double block the Anointed Peacekeeper. I wonder if this means that their mystery card is Arcbound Ravager. Maybe not. I agree with them that taking 10 here is not like super good for them to do. But if they don't have Ravager, maybe trading for Champ is better. Alright, so it's now going to be Besage You, 2 mystery cards. They find an Arcbound Ravager, which isn't doing a ton on this board, of course. Is the other card okay, the other card is a Patchwork. So we still have really good attacks here. I guess if I attack with a 2/2, they can make this a 3/3 and eat a Mariner. Maybe that's not ideal. I think at this point, I'm pretty interested in growing the champ and... I think this also makes my attack with my 2/2s better, because if they do... I guess they can go block here, sack here, take 2 down to 6. I think that's okay, though. They have 1 less blocker. Yeah. If they find Scales, does it make lethal ink wealth? No, not even close. It's also nice that we have backup Mariner, so like another Ballista is still like pretty turned off. Now they're down to 6. They can block with 3 Inkmoth Nexi here, which is kind of funny. So send with everything, animate at least one Nexus block here, eat here. Potentially take 4 down to 2. Probably chump, maybe trade 2 Nexi. I'm gonna attack and then play Cursed Totem. Puts him in a spot where champion is lethal attacker next turn. I'm trading Questing Druid for 3 Inkmoth Nexuses and 2 damage. Feels like a good trade. Cursed Totem, you know, of course makes their deck a lot weaker, but, you know, they could still activate Shadow Spear. Is War Priest better than Lauren? Yeah, it's 2 mana. I think that makes it better. Okay, so if I attack with both, they eat the War Priest, chump block the champ. My top decks have been not very good again, unfortunately. But my opening hand was very strong. Just like having a hard time drawing like any human to just get that last little bit of pressure. I think I will trade a War Priest for... I guess... So I'm not trading War Priest for a Construct. I mean, they could double block the champ if I attacked just champ. No, this was actually a bad attack. I think we're going to see them get a Shadow Spear. They double block, they lose both. Yeah, I think I shouldn't have attacked with the War Priest. They decided not to make a token. Equips. 1 card left in their hands. Attacks. And their other card is Dismember. Kind of classic, I don't know. I have 6 lands in play, my opponent has 3 lands in play. I guess they did have a bunch of Nexuses and stuff. This feels bad to kind of flood out so bad games 1, 8, 1, and 2. I do think I'm supposed to keep playing these because of Questing Druid. Like, my Solitude can exile the Patchwork now. I have to have 2 Horizon lands. I didn't draw either of them either. It is what it is. Yeah, I have to draw like Questing Druid this turn, and even then, like, this is gonna be tough. Them having that like Dismember too is so brutal. I mean, I did make that one bad attack with the War Priest also. Sunbaked Canyon if this hand gets a little flooded. We're gonna update the Aether Mage's touch deck. Not really. I think like the Goryo's Atraxa deck has mostly invalidated the that deck. Pippin never in the deck? Not in this deck. Pippin is not a human. Alright, we've entered the Aether Vial bracket, right where we're supposed to be. The Shockland Aether Vial bracket. Pippin is really good though. Like I thought the Cauldron Death and Taxes deck we had was pretty fun. Surely this is the Human's Mirror, right? Giver, okay. Giver is really good against us, huh? Although Peacekeeper is very good against a good answer to Giver. The 4/4 Angel for 2 mana. There's gonna be some Death and Taxes players that vial it in, and then it'll be awful. Or just like it's just like a vanilla creature, you know, that you can never ever ever cast. I'm gonna grab some Cauldra. Very notable that they cast this Stoneforge, so we can assume they have another 2-drop to vial in. Just flood every game. Okay, not. I do like that we get to see their hand. Know what we need to play around. The Bowmasters are pretty bad against my Mariner / Coppercoat. So I can name Stoneforge Mystic, which is bad against them drawing a land. I can name Aether Vial, which strands these Bowmasters for a while. I could also name... I could also name Giver of Runes to leave them with, like, not any super good blocks. Yeah, Vial being symmetrical here is a little awkward. Their Bowmasters are also, like, just not that good. I guess they can pay for... They have to target me with the Bowmaster. Yeah, I guess their blocks are worse if I name Vial, so let's name Aether Vial. Like, I just can't attack with everything. I'm only hitting them for 5. They flumping? Yeah, they probably are playing. We've entered the flump bracket. Why not Mass Vandal instead of War Priest? Almost always guaranteed to have something in the yard. You are not almost always guaranteed to have something in the yard. Imagine, if you will with me, a very common sequence. You play a land. Your opponent plays an Urza Saga. You have your 2-drop in your hand. Would you rather have Mass Vandal or War Priest of Thune? Your opponent plays Up the Beanstalk. Would you rather have Mass Vandal or War Priest of Thune? Your opponent plays Hardened Scales. Would you rather have Mass Vandal or War Priest of Thune? Yeah, my brother, there is no creature in the yard on turn 2. Yeah, your opponent, yeah, Ley Lines and Solitude's your creature. Alright, top deck Giver. It was so close to naming Giver. So they're going to defense Cauldra. They'll have 2 good blocks. We're probably just chilling for a little while. And we're going to be drawing great the whole time. Maybe if I draw Thalia's Lieutenant or Adeline, we're getting in. Alright, we're seeking the Beast, though. Maybe I seek the Beast end of turn. How ambitious is that? Because I can't vial in the stuff I seek. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a longer game, and so like I would love to be able to seek the Beast into another questing Druid and seek again. Peacekeeper would be great to lock down these Givers a little bit. Their hand is 3rd Vial, Bowmaster, Mystery card. They can play both Bowmasters here, but they can't really kill anything because of my Mariner. They're attacking. It's kind of surprising. I guess they think with double Bowmaster their blocks are good enough, and double Giver, which is, I think, probably true. But I could find another Peacekeeper. I'm feeling okay about my attacks. We do find another Peacekeeper. And a Champion of the Parish. Very good Seek the Beast. Glad that we waited. My opponent is going to Bowmaster now. Oh, they can kill my... Oh, they can't kill Coppercoat because this also has Ward. Sorry. Everything. These all have double Ward and the Coppercoat has regular Ward. Alright, consider the Beast Seeked. Seek Algorith Vial. Yeah, I think it's, not that big a deal. They target their own Stoneforge Mystic. Probably target their Orc Army, right? Yeah. Figuring out attacks here is going to be a little weird, but... Okay, so look at the hand, then name. Giver. Yeah, Peacekeeper's been really impressive. Maybe it's not that complicated. Maybe it's just easy right-click attack with everything. Seems like it is, actually. Alright, so I right-click attack with everything. How do they block? They'll put maybe the 2/2 in front of my Orc army. Double block 1/2, 1/2 here. Jump here. I think that's pretty okay. Don't usually do this much creature combat in a game of Modern. Man, they're just chomping with their givers, dude. I think I would do. I mean, this card is still like, you know, they have nothing else to do with their mana. Oh, they don't know. Wait, why don't they know? Because why don't they know? Because they weren't activating their vials after the other Peacekeeper. They should know. So if we should sit with everything, right? They're going to block here, and they have no other good blocks. They have to block at least 2 of these, so trading champion for either 3 damage, double chump, or 2 damage. Wait, what? Surely they can't care more about this Aether Vial than my 7/7. Okay, my opponent's at 1 with 2 blockers versus my 3 attackers. Or sorry, 4 attackers, so... I don't know what they can draw. I guess they can draw another Bowmaster to get 2 blockers. They can draw like a Shadow Spear. Solitude. Yeah, there's some cards in the format. Free the Vial when I'm empty-handed. I don't see any reason to cast this Vial. Mostly, I mean, not that they can really play around anything, but there's this kind of pointless to cast, and they may think I have a relevant card in my hand, right? That's true. Yeah, we would also kill the Druid. That being said, they'd have to draw they only have 2 left in the deck. Okay, so we can play around Bowmaster a little bit better by waiting to Vial in the Lieutenant. Like, there's not really any reason to grow any of our creatures, right, since they're at 1. Okay. We can activate the Vial for 2 mana. Alright. So up a game against what is probably Flumph combo. Cursed Totem looking kind of nice against their Giver Stoneforge deck. Talk about opponent killing our Vial Peacekeeper. Oh, I see. Then we'll bring in the Solitudes also. Gonna cut the Lavinias, gonna cut the Boromirs. Click submit, I think. They didn't know champion would have died if they blocked with Cauldra. What is Flumph combo? Okay, so if you give your Flumph indestructible, target with an Orcish Bowmaster, then both players draw their entire library. And if you have an Endurance, which it doesn't seem like they're playing the Endurance build. When we played the deck, we had Endurance. So if you have Endurance, then you get to Endurance yourself, so they deck and not you. It's like a 3-card combo, but it is cool that one of your combo cards is Orcish Bowmaster. Like, I always kind of like when your combo cards are good cards also. I doubt it's fun for me to play more than 60 cards. Or Endurance, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe not. They are an Aether Vial Bowmaster deck. Yeah, they could just be like Esper Aether Vial. Yeah, if Flumph was a good card, that's all we need. But you also have to play like Spirited Companion, which isn't that bad. And Flumph is also not that bad, but neither are that good. And it's kind of tough to play like any creature combo deck in Modern that isn't Yawgmoth combo, of course. Classic problem. Equip Shadow Spear to Giver. Not exactly a winning line. Kind of tipped. If I draw like an action spell, I'm probably just gonna Violent Questing Druid, cast Lieutenant. Alright, so instead, let's cast Adeline Violent Lieutenant after the 1/1 is in play. I think I'd rather the 1/1 be a 2/2 than the Lieutenant growing. Pitch Extraction Specialist. Alright, so we might as well Violent the Thalia's Lieutenant now. Let's just gain 1 more life. Or 2 more life, actually. Okay, got a good Esper Vial matchup. Like I would be pretty happy if this was 6 card minus 1 Vial. Kind of Vial on 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, some tension with the Questing Druid for sure. It is funny that we just all of our games have been like multiple Vial hands plus Questing Druid, or like the last couple games. Draw a red source at the top. We're kind of cooking. Go to Vial into double Vial into Seek the Beast. Puts on a mold of 5. Nice mold of 5. This is a mold of 6 easily. The second Vial is definitely a card. It's like a good mold of 6. Yeah, my opponent's mulling to 4, and I have main deck Lavinia, so I'm feeling kind of nice about that. Usually this card is good against decks that mulligan to 4. So it could be Living End. Could be Murktide, I guess. You could mulligan to 4 with that deck. It is Murktide, okay. So they may get a hit in with the Ragavan, which would be fine. The Champion of the Parish. If they have a Channeler, this becomes a 2/2. Would have been a good card for me to have. You know, when they're on the mulligan, they kind of need whatever they can get. Seems like they didn't have a Channeler in their hand already because they would have cast it preordained. Although I guess they would also cast Champ pre-Channeler. Alright, let's Seek the Beast this turn, I think, instead of casting the 3rd Vial this turn. And I'll try to block the Ragavan with Lavinia, I think. That being said, they probably do have a removal spell, but you know, it seems like it's probably okay too. I guess I could maybe Seek the Beast in response to the removal spell. That way they can't counterspell, but they could Spell Pierce the Questing Druid. They got 3 cards in their hand. Are any of them Spell Pierce or Spell Snare? Any Beast Seekers in the chat? We hit a Peacekeeper and a Cavern of Souls. So this will give me a pretty good play next turn. Start off with an uncounterable Peacekeeper, and then Violent both Lieutenant and Coppercoat Vanguard. They hit a Questing Druid off the Ragavan, which is kind of a nightmare. I would assume that they Seek the Beast if they need a land, and Questing Druid if they don't. Maybe they just need that tempo. Alright, so this Vial stays on 2. This Vial takes up to 3. So Lightning Bolt. Okay, they're also a questing just already a Questing Druid deck. Bolt is like not so scary against us here. I think I'd name Expressive Iteration. They may be unaware how ventures work with still level players. I mean, I think they probably just wanted the threat, right? Perfect. So this is exactly what I wanted. I wanted them to play into my lieutenant here. So it is Questing Druid, Expressive Iteration, Mystery card. Neither of those cards are super good at the moment, thankfully. Let's take one of these vials up to 3, leave the other one at 2. So notably, if I vial in this Peacekeeper, I don't get the Questing Druid trigger because it's on cast instead of ETB. That being said, I think I just leave them with kind of a miserable block where they want to put one of the 2 power creatures in front of Lieutenant, but we get to blow that out with instant speed vial here. All right, so let's name Seek the Beast, I think, instead of. Oh, it's awkward. It's awkward for me to name Seek the Beast. I guess I only have 2 more in my deck. Yeah, I think if they're just casting Questing Druid, it's too slow. And they don't even have green mana anyways. Their block is terrible. How would you have blocked instead? I don't really feel like they have good blocks here. I think just playing around nothing is okay since they're so far behind. That's about all they can beat. Okay, so we're going to bring in our Sanctifiers, I think. I do bring in Solitude against... I mean, they have 2 Murktides in their deck. The Lavinia. Another minus Lavinia, minus Boromir matchup. Happens sometimes, though. Naming the cards only for opponent? I thought it was symmetrical. Oh, the spells is not symmetrical, but the ability part is. It's a little weird. I guess I am kind of cold to Murktide if I don't bring in the Solitudes. Peacekeeper's also, like, it's fine. I'm going to trip a couple. Yeah, I thought both halves were symmetrical. There's another card like that, or like Lavinia's kind of worded split up like this too. Like one part of Lavinia says your opponents can't cast, the other part counters, which is so like weird. Why is it not just both counter? Second half is probably not symmetrical with text in it, but maybe. Okay, turn 1 Sentinel, these kind of matchups always pretty ideal. Although a lot of times you have to block the Ragavan with it. So we can infer they don't have a fetch land because they would have played that pre-bobble. What we do with that information is not very much. We can maybe infer they're kind of land light, but you know, at the end of the day, we're just gonna play our best 1-drop. Like if I draw Aether Vial and Casting Vial. Did people always think Questing Druid to be good? What was the defining moment that made it good? Fascinator's card straight from good to amazing. I've always been pretty high on the card. It was one of my top picks for my set review. I liked it a lot. Like when it first came out in Prowess, I think the big breakthrough moment was people finding out that it was just good in Murktide, or like worth splashing for in Murktide. That was like Andrea's big innovation. I thought that's probably like the big breakout moment for it, but. I do think that I think a lot of people were relatively high on the card, yeah. Well, right on time, Aether Vial. I think I am gonna play it. Ragavan hitting you always is kind of annoying, but they don't have that many cards of mine that they can make good use out of. This Vial like will be a pretty good card if I cast it this turn. If I don't cast it this turn, it's going to be significantly worse. The play of just playing a 2-drop that like to trade with the Ragavan isn't like a particularly good play. Okay, this is very fun. They floated a mana like they wanted 2 explosives on 1, but like they don't really want 2 explosives on 1 with 2 1-drops in play, do they? So it's almost like they just wanted to like get the Surveil instead. Yeah, I'll do an Ixalan set review or whatever you call those. Yeah, it looks like they misclicked, but it's not like explosives on one was like a good play. Like main phase 1 explosives on one doesn't make any sense here. I'd really like to just draw land and play Adeline. Well, the Ragavan's denying me lands. Yeah, what I didn't really want to draw was a 2-drop. Unfortunately. I think I just played Coppercoat. I haven't seen very many standout cards from Mixalon. I feel like I have like 20 standout cards from Mixalon so far or something. It's going to be a long video. Although people say this literally every set release. A lot of people thought Wilds of Eldraine was going to be like not impactful at all. I kind of did too until I like delved a little deeper into the set, but I feel like this is going to be a huge set for Modern. I haven't looked at spoilers much today. I'm kind of browsing them on my other monitor. Their EE is on 0. It seems to have accidentally been placed there. It could be hard to race a lightning bolt this game. Oh, their E on 0 is relevant against my Adeline too, but yeah, I think if they have lightning bolt, we probably can't race. Heat is also, you know, gotta be a tough one. 2-mana artifact mana pod thingy. Is this mana pod is not a word. Are you talking about this? Or we reach Stackolite? I like this card. 2-mana artifact, add red, only to cast instants. And then if you exile 4 more red instant sorceries from your graveyard, you get to transform it into this. Which, unlike most of the craft cards, you can activate immediately because it's a it's an artifact instead of a creature. But basically all the craft cards have something like this. This doesn't. And then you can exile one of the crafted cards at random without paying the mana cost for 2 mana and a tap. Although it's like 7 mana all on that one combo turn. It's a cool brew card for sure. And like, you know, there's a lot of good red instants and sorceries in Modern. So about the white one? I didn't see the white one. Wait, is this a cycle? Cycle's pretty cool. Very cool brew card in Legacy. Yeah, maybe Legacy. Like, maybe it's not Modern, but I'll definitely be thinking about it in the context of Modern for a while. I think it's like at least close there. Probably can't really beat any red card here. Oh, it's a commander card. Damn it. Wait, they're not killing Adeline? They just care more about the 2 damage? That can't bode well for me. And Legacy, don't you just cast Music's Mastery? I don't know, maybe. I didn't realize it was a commander card. Is it? How do you tell? So this is the commander symbol. I'm assuming chat's not lying to me. What's a regular symbol? That's it? Okay. Oh, they had a second heat? Okay, we're pretty dead. Have game 3 on the play. Because I'll draw a Sanctifier, I guess, to turn off Delirium. Something. Okay, so what is this artifact pod thing? Is this it? Contested game ball? Whenever you're dealt combat damage, the attacking player gains control of contested ball and untaps it. Draw a card, put a point counter on the ball. Then if it has 5 or more game counter, sacrifice. That card's cool. Not playable, but cool. Alright, let's go to game 3. It's 2 white, yeah, maybe someone could link it, I don't know. Pin with the 1 year, happy anniversary, welcome back. Alright, game 3 on the play. Calibrated Foundation Foundry. Was it today? A lot of EDH cards today, it seems. So, very similar card. We looked at this card yesterday. Add white, only to cast artifact spell. Activate ability of artifact source. Notably does not activate Urza Saga. Exile 1 or other artifacts you control with mana value X. Return mana value X from your graveyard to battlefield. Activate only as sorcery. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one. I like having Cavern. It's kind of hard to keep this like 5-lander. Nice, hand's great. Mulligan more often, gamers. Thank me later. Kind of like Breach instead of Murktide in these teamer lists. I think you can play Breach instead of Druid also. Like, it's kind of like a tested formula, and I think Druid is good. I'm not 100% convinced it's better than the Underworld Breach. You know what I mean? If they attack out block, I know they can have Dress Down, but that's kind of like, we're trading 3 mana for 2 mana in that case. GRC with the 14 months. Thank you, welcome back. Maybe playing into any counter magic this game is wrong. It is always nice to be able to grow your Sanctifiers. They have another Scolding. Things could get a little bad. Love to draw Adeline. Can't do the Lieutenant trick. You have to cast the Lieutenant, or... Wait. I always get it backwards. Yeah, you have to cast the Lieutenant, then Vial and something else, but our Vial's on 2. Is it me or too many people tend to overestimate Ragavan on the draw? What does that mean, overestimate it? I mean, like, it's worse. I think most people would agree that it's worse on the draw. That's bait, yeah, maybe. Alright, block here. It means Will Jumps are worse than the draw. Yeah, I think most people know this. They just, like, still have them in their deck post-board. I see people boarding out on the draw against 6/6 scales or humans. Yeah, I don't know. You can't board them out on the draw. They're not that bad against humans either. They usually just, like, trade for something, which is fine. Okay, but it's down to 11. It's really big that they can't go Dress Down into Heat or Bolt on this. Oh, wait. Yeah, they don't have Delirium. So, like, even if they have Dress Down, like, this is going to be very hard for them to kill. No Seek the Beast in the turn is nice. Murktide is a 4/4. 5/5 now. It's pretty big. If they have it, of course. Only play a couple copies. Would make sense for them to have a copy of it here, though. They keep a card on top, put a card on the bottom. Normally, they would have Delirium post Dress Down now, so they could have Dress Down plus Heat for the Sanctifier. I think that I should not cast this Peacekeeper. It's just too likely that they have a counterspell. So like maybe they would do something like post combat or something to make me think they don't have it, but It seems so incredibly likely they have a counterspell. It's just not. They did find a Seek the Beast. This has found them in Explosives and another Seek the Beast. I may be able to like get them with the Anointed Peacekeeper. Like, how do they play around it? The rare Delirious Channeler through a Sanctifier. Yeah, so it seems like they're going to forgo the ability to play Questing Druid this turn. I'm going to do something here. I'm going to tap my Aether Vial on 2 to make it look like I'm trying to violate something in response. And they're like, oh wait, I don't want to do that into the Explosives on 2. So my opponent is... maybe this bluff makes no sense, but... maybe my opponent will be more likely to not sack the Explosives now. I think in general people have a really hard time playing around the card Anointed Peacekeeper. It's just not a card you see very often. Nice. So now we can name Engineered Explosives. Their hand is 2 Otawaras. Man, I'd love to name that. I have to name the Explosives though. Just like time blocks them. I don't think I want to trade Champ for the Sanctifier or Channeler. I want them to just attack with it. I have 3 lethal attackers. Also, they have Force of Negation in their deck post board against me. I like to think that this got them here. Maybe they were just never sacking the Explosives first. Very hard card to play around. They have to block Sanctifier. They can't. It's pro-red. Yeah, Peacekeeper has been really impressing me. It reminds me a lot of like Kite Self Rebooter, but like better. So many activated abilities in Modern right now too. Why wouldn't an opponent Explosive in response to the Vial? Because they just don't know to play around Anointed Peacekeeper. Like, Peacekeeper is just not a card people have a lot of experience playing against in Modern. Like, for the most, like, they just don't expect it to be relevant. It's like, your opponents are way more likely to misplay when you take a line that, like, they're not used to playing against. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, so they have bolts for Peacekeeper. And so they can pop the Explosives on 2, which will kill their Questing Druid. But they're still dead on board, right? Because they have to attack with Channeler. Yeah, the card's been a lot more common in Legacy, for sure. It's the last card in your hand. Has to be a 3-drop, so there's no downside to popping Explosive. Yeah, of course. Proven. But what I'm saying is, it was a misplay. But it's, a misplay that you can kind of expect them to make a lot of the time. But like you're not wrong that it was a punt. It was definitely a mistake from them. Sometimes a mistake is simply that. Unless they somehow have 2-1 drops. No, we know their hand is. Wait, isn't there? Yeah, there's Otawara Force of Negation. We have double Sentinel on the draw. Kind of addicted to this. Double Coppercoat's nice. I'm gonna keep. We also have 4 Vials and 19 more lands to draw. Arid Mesa Gigantha. Could be Prowess. Could be that green-red Devoted Druid deck that doesn't look that good. If it is Prowess, double Sentinel is really nice to have. 4 Sanctifiers plus board again. Will carry some weight. Why is this a keeper? We have double Sentinel in Modern. It's just on the draw. It's just like Sentinel's like your best 1-drop. Besides Vial. I just... The upside is too high to mulligan, I think. Arid Mesa Steamman's Ragavan is weird. So there's less of like a reasonable chance like these Sentinels will draw you a card into a land. Is Gleeful Demo still playable? I think it's a good card, yeah. People should mulligan more. Keeps us 1-lander. It's a good 1-lander, though. I'm brave enough to keep this. Listen, I mulled the 3 earlier because I was brave enough. I'm keeping this because I'm brave enough. Yeah, Domain Zoo I think is probably somewhat likely, especially with how long it took them to... I guess they fetched the Steam Vents pretty quick. Second Ragavan. Wow, they have 2 lands? Their mom lets them have 2 lands? Oops. What could we have done different? I'd keep it again. I would keep it again. Could be Breach. Still. Ragavan is definitely flipping a land. Yep. Listen, I'm not missing my land drop next turn because of me. I'm missing it next turn because of Ragavan. Yeah, they're not Domain Zoo, I think, if they're playing Iteration though. They reveal Flooded Strand. Yeah, they're a Jeskai Giganta deck with Iteration, so it is weird for them to be Breach though, because usually when I play Oracle instead of Grape Shot because of the One Ring, but they could be like Fair Breach. Easy, dude. Hope your hand is all counter spells. I think I'm blocking with Champion. Funny enough, like the Sentinel, especially with these Coppercoat Vanguards, is pretty dang good against them. Seems unlikely to do Giganta. I mean, they can have a counter spell, like, but not like the card counter spell, right? They can have all spell pierces and snares and stuff. We're playing against a Giganta Mana Leak deck yesterday, I think, maybe the day before. Okay, our block ended up being better like this, ended up, you know, not being super duper different. They do have Spell Pierce in the deck. Channeler just straight up drawing a card there though. Basically. Keeps a card on top this time. Yeah, it looks like fair, Jeskai, fair Breach. Right on time. We're having all the fun. Our Channeler should be really good against them. I guess they do have Prismatic Ending though. I feel like Prismatic Ending sucks so much right now. It is funny. I remember like when MH2 came out, people were like, Prismatic Ending is way too good. A lot of people really, really hated the card. But I think it's aged really well, and it's like you play it in like blue-white control because you don't have any better 1-mana removal spells on turn 1. And you know, it's just the worst card in your deck. And then they printed Binding. Yeah, Binding is so much better. And also like blue-white I still get annoyed at blue-white players who like cut Binding from their deck all the time, but maybe I need to learn to be at peace with them. Thought being encouraging 0-cost 5-mana spells would bring Nyx back. I mean, isn't there like just like a strictly better Nyx now? Whatever that card is called. Put a card on top. I may just go to game. See you in a second. Like minor misstep or something. Think it's correct to cut Sentinel versus game because of Bowmaster? Nah. Sentinel's like a good card in general against their deck, and you know you can try to think about sequencing around it, try to grow it with your Thalia's Lieutenant. It's hard. It's also just hard to raise your curve against Scam in general. That's a good game too. Sure. Yeah. What is it? Okay. Wash Away is not strictly better. It's something misstep, right? Minor misstep. I'm gonna go down to 1 Lavinia, 1 Boromir, and no Peacekeepers. Maybe you play some Peacekeeper. Peacekeeper seems kind of mediocre against them. Could play like 2. Counter target spell with mana value 1 or less. Oh, it doesn't count. I'm sorry, I didn't realize. I thought that card also counted the Fury Solitudes. Never mind then. Nyx needed to draw a card. Yeah, Nyx plus draw a card is probably like pretty reasonable in Modern. Or Nyx should have been 0 mana also. Like Nyx being 0 mana is like, maybe you just have like a mental misstep problem. Probably would have been fine. I've registered Nyx before. It was not the healthiest format I've ever played. I just have a Sanctifier. But we draw Vial next turn. They have the Prismatic Ending. Feels bad. Oh, they don't. Feels good. Called shot. Not so bad though, honestly. Just been pretty consistently like the third card on top of our library. Yeah, they bounce the Sanctifier. Obviously not super happy if they have a 1 mana counter for this. They don't though. Had a hard time like curving out at all this league. I know it's always the humans' problem. It is what it is. Probably should have mulliganed that game 1 hand last time. It was okay though. Okay, so they exile Scalding Turn to their iteration. Conniving. Tactical Banana with the gifted subs. Very nice of you. Thank you, thank you. They discard another Consider. Okay, down to 12. Come on, Aether Vial. There's not much that kills my Adeline, which is of course like what's nice here, but you get to play around 2 1-mana removal spells on the Adeline this turn by vialing in Coppercoat first. So I'm going to send this at them, and I'm going to send the token at Teferi, I think. Happy to kill Teferi, happy to kill Ragavan. A little less happy if they kill my Coppercoat and I only deal 1 damage to Teferi, but that also means I can kind of just ignore the Teferi for a while still. What's nice is Adeline doesn't die to Bolt, doesn't die to Heat. Very unlikely they can get in with the Ragavan. We got a lot of trick-or-treaters last night. Our neighborhood is kind of like the trick-or-treater station, I think. We ran out of candy. Nestor was pretty confident we weren't going to. Go pending on Sanctifier. So this could maybe let them get Delirium for Unholy Heat if they also have that. That'd be pretty much a nightmare. Yeah, I didn't start handing out bulk rares this year. Awesome, Simon. Very cool. It's like, my birthday is actually the day of the eclipse next year. Me and my twin. Just up another, 11 minutes on the clock or whatever. They shotgun the Steam Vents, so they're, saying they have another 1 mana spell to play this turn. That 1 mana spell is another Sanct Channeler. Sanct Channeler. Gets in with the Shredder. Puts me down to 10. So I really, even if I draw a land, I don't think I'm letting my opponent connive here. Seems really dangerous. Champus gets pretty big here. Don't think the Mariners are really even doing a lot either, for what it's worth. Yeah, if I let them connive, it's just like so likely they can like connive next turn and kill me. I'm going to be ignoring the Teferi. They do have to block something, which is nice. They probably just chump the Adeline, which also gives them Delirium, but and we're dead to a Lightning Bolt, but if they connive here, they're still a damage short, and they have to attack with both Channelers, so we'll be dead to a Lightning Bolt. They've already played one. They get, you know, only 5 looks off this Preordain. They put 2 cards in the graveyard. We need them to not, you know, keep a card on top, of course. They put 2 on the bottom. Big win. That being said, they're not conceding and they're not casting any more cantrips, so they probably have the bolt. Okay, long game, huh? Tough one. Alright, let's we 3-2'd the last league with humans. Maybe humans is just always a 3-2 deck. You could splash requesting Druid and scam, and it'd be okay. Alright. On the draw against Ragavan again. Rally the Hornberg 2 aggro for this list. I mean, this is an aggro deck. Rally's probably a little underpowered. Just casual turn 2 ring. Hi Spike, GLHF. I was gonna game 2. So we're against Breach combo. Sanctifier is pretty annoying for Breach combo. Not like the end of the world though. Lavinia, I feel like they have a reason. Like, so they have Mox Amber too. It's nice against Imri. Boromir's kind of slow. Peacekeepers are kind of our answer to Ring also. I don't know if I want to play 4. I kind of feeling 4. Maybe we're cutting the Coppercoats. Coppercoat's like not great against Lightning Bolt decks. Just gets bolted. We play 1 Boromir over Lavinia 3. Rally is kind of interesting though. I don't think it's better than any of our other 2 drops, but I do like that card. I guess my opponent didn't say GLHF. They just said hi. I said good luck, have fun, and they had good luck and they had fun, so mission accomplished. Alright, let's get Sacred Foundry for Seek the Beast. We can Vial in our blue cards, hopefully. Stoneway with the 34. Turn 1 Emery. Yeah, GLHF. Okay, have another turn 2 ring if they have a second Mox Amber. If we can get a Lavinia down, we can stop the Emery stuff. So a blue source would be really nice for this turn. So kind of punish for getting Sacred Foundry, but just immediately find this. Also stops them from playing second Amber into 1 ring this turn. That being said, they could also just bolt the Lavinia, of course. Yeah. I don't think I really need a Sanctifier in play this turn, although it doesn't use my mana super well to do this. Just getting double Mariner is like such a pain for opponents to deal with. I think this seems fine. We could get Breach combo this turn, I guess, but I think I'm okay just not playing around it. Yeah. Seems like this was like kind of the likely line. That being said, I don't know how easily they can combo through a Sanctifier. It maybe is just like very easy to do. I guess we'll find out. I think I might as well get the Temple Garden for Seek the Beast. The Mariner subscription. Yeah, I think my opponent's winning with Thassa's Oracle instead because there's no Gigantha. Don't feel like I'm in terrible shape here though. Any Breach experts? How hard is it to combo through a Sanctifier? Yeah, it was our we were playing against Fair Breach last round. I know I said like last week I wasn't playing against Breach at all. Maybe Breach is good. There's maybe not a lot of graveyard hate at the moment. Seems like it's maybe fine. Second ring is tough. Yeah, they play like 3 rings in the deck. Okay, they're bolting a Mariner. We're gonna spend 3 mana to do this. They won't. Kind of feel like they have to chump block with this Imri too. Also is where our opponent lands, it seems. So obviously we do really want to top deck something relevant here. Let's leave the Vial on 2 for now. I feel like this is what humans comes down to a lot of time. Just top deck something relevant or die. If I Seek the Beast now, it's not very likely I get to do anything that matters. So let's not. Let's do it on their turn. Let's go down to 4. Yeah, we'd have to like land. Yeah, land relevant 2-drop. He's got 9 cards in hand, but a ring on 3. So if they just don't have a ring in their hand, they're in tough shape. Like them having to use mana on Preordain is also incredibly good news for us too. Opponent's hand was great, and it feels like we're ahead, which is nice. One big test of like your modern decks is like, are your opponents drawing really well, and do you have a chance? Like you just kind of like, you always need to be in that zone. I'm not articulating this well at all, but. These are when you're playtesting decks, these are the kind of games to pay attention to. Like my opponent went turn 1 Imri with Mox Amber, turn 2 Ring, and we won anyways. You want to focus more on those games and less on the games where you curve out perfectly / your opponent like doesn't draw well. Okay, I think Lavinia was good the game. I think I'll still do the 2-1 split. Don't think I want a Solitude. Could play a War Priest. I think I'm down for first War Priest over the first Coppercoat. You can also Violet and kill Breach, which is kind of nice. Maybe you could even play 2. We'll just play 1. Yeah, the 2/2 Goblin Descend into turn card. This card is cool. Not sure if it's good. I agree, Sanchez. Do we try Cauldron Humans list already? I've been brewing Cauldron Humans for a long time. Like, it is really cool that Humans is so good at putting a ton of +1 counters on their creatures. Like, that is a dynamic that I definitely like. That's a dynamic I definitely like. I think if Mangara exiled itself, I would be really interested in trying to play Cauldron Humans. But the fact that it doesn't kind of makes me less excited. I guess we get Steam Vents here. War Priest for Beans. Yeah, Beans and Scales and Titan. Comes in like a surprising amount of matchups. Well, my hand is all 2-drops. Like I said, Seek the Beast is a reasonable 2-drop into the explosives, I suppose. You mean sacrifice? Oh yeah, sorry. If it's sacrificed instead of exiling itself, I'd be more interested. Okay, explosives plus Imri is good. We have we can have Peacekeeper to break this up, and mostly just that. We find Peacekeeper. We also find Sanctifier. Can't play both. We draw another Peacekeeper. Our hard skills Trauma Mashup Redo. We lost playing for Trophy yesterday. It didn't go very well today. I think it's worse than regular Hardened Scales, so I'm cut off of it. But it had some cool, you know, payoffs and some cool games. It's a fun deck to build. And I also got like the Cauldron Tron stuff out of my system, which I've been kind of dying to do for a while. I mean, I think we'd still name Engineered Explosives. Kind of in a I don't know, a weird situation here. Stuttering situation. Peacekeeper's been so good, y'all. I've been like, I think this is one big takeaway. Peacekeeper has just been like an actual good modern card. I didn't know it was. People have been trying to tell me a little bit. Alright, so this costs 4 mana to sacrifice. And then it costs 2 extra mana to replay from the graveyard. Although I guess is that Peacekeeper doesn't actually make explosives more mana if they want to pay mana, right? Prismatic Ending the Peacekeeper. No. Time Walk, baby. Past static ability, Time Walk. So I played double Thalia's Lieutenant this turn. I'm pretty insulated against their Fury. I think drawing a land, though, I'll go Lieutenant Peacekeeper and Peacekeeper the 1 ring, since they have 2 rings in their hand. They did find it. Wait, they had a red card for Fury. Should we name Fury? Let's name the 1 ring. Okay, so if they go red card Fury, Peacekeeper, it costs them 3 mana to kill their Peacekeeper, so they can't also sack the explosives. Why Thalia first? I was thinking I wanted the Lieutenant to be bigger. Maybe that's flawed logic. I think I like spreading out the damage more, right? When they have a chump blocker. I guess he was still the 4 power creature though. Okay, so they are killing Ragavan. They're targeting the Peacekeeper with the 1 ring named. So I'm gonna try to start casting the ring next turn. So if I play Lieutenant, yeah, I mean, oh wow. Lieutenant plus Adeline, I think is lethal. Cool. All right, 3-2ing every league with humans. Let's do one more. I want to get a little bit of a bigger sample size. 3-2 is definitely not a bad rank. Like 6 and 4 is definitely not bad, especially for how people like scream about tribal decks not being good. I'm gonna get a little bit of a bigger sample size too, because I'm pretty happy with how the deck's built at the moment. I could see doing a few different things.